Hello and welcome back. Or if this is probably your first time, welcome. I've decided I'm going to start a little series on this channel that I've decided to call the Nordschleife Hot Lap Bonanza, where I'm just going to take any car I really fancy for a little warm-up lap and then a hot lap to see how quickly I can get it around. Now for this, I've chosen to use a car that I actually own and use every day, the Honda S2000. I've gone for the AP1 early edition because I haven't quite found a late model UK mod which got all the facelift features but didn't lose the F20C engine in it. So we still have 9,000 wonderful revs to reach. So here we are in Assetto Corsa. Now one thing I will be doing is giving each car beforehand a quick little basic setup, just adding some camber and changing tyre pressures as I need to, just so we can give every car the best chance it can have to do a quick lap. But with that out of the way now, let's get started. So the Honda S2000 was built from 1999 all the way up until 2010. It was originally based off a concept from 1995 with a car that originally was designed to have a inline 5 engine, but in the actual build of this car it came with a inline 4 2-litre producing 240 brake horsepower in Japan and 230 in the rest of the world because we got slightly lower compressions. And because of that 240 brake horsepower, it got the title, a very long-winded title, of the highest output per litre of any naturally aspirated engine. I think that was beaten just under 10 years later with the release of the Ferrari 458, if I'm correct. Now, when this car came out, it didn't have any traction control or any form of driver aid. So if you mess up, it is your fault. The car cannot save you, really. You just have to drive better to keep it under check. And having lived with this car, one thing I will say is this thing loves to be absolutely thrashed to get the best out of it. Because VTEC doesn't kick in until 6,000 RPM. So if you're out of that VTEC, you are out of the power band. So you've got to make sure you're keeping in that VTEC range, otherwise it will take an age to get back into it and you'll just be losing time around here. Bear in mind, this isn't a track car or anything, it's just a sports car for the road. I did take my version to a track day at Silverstone almost a year ago at this point. And it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to drive. You can chuck it in. The front end is very, very direct because the engine's mounted behind the front axles, so it's technically classed as a mid-engine car. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this warm-up lap, and I'll see you again just as we're coming to start our flying lap. Just realised I told a little bit of a lie about the no driver aid whatsoever. It does have ABS. We just don't have traction control. One thing we will have to keep in check on this flying lap is being careful under braking. If you make any form of turning, this thing likes to kick the back out from you. Or if you're turning too sharply as well, it likes to oversteer. It can be quite difficult to contain it sometimes. It can catch you off guard in the real thing, I know that much. Especially on a wet road. Okay, camber, or elevation changes. It's not a big fan of elevation changes, I can figure that much out. Especially going over a crest. It likes to kick out the back from you. Right, we're just coming to the end of the long back straight, coming up to start off flying that in just a moment. I will try and talk as I'm going round, but this is still quite new to me. But I will do my best. Ooh, a little bit slower there, come on. Right, here we go. Downhill, braking out just a little bit early there, chuck it in, don't want any tail squirrel. That just means understeer. All just about managing the revs, keep making sure we stay above 6,000 RPM and keeping in that power band. Otherwise the engine does become quite gutless, and we don't want that. It just makes it slow. These cars have never been known for being fast. They're just known for being good at chucking around corners and being quite mechanical to drive. Which is surprising considering they have electric power steering. I didn't know that until quite late into owning mine, and I've had two S2000 actually, so owning each of them for just about a year, and I did not know about their power steering until fairly recently. Whoa, keep that in check, hold, don't want that Becking coming round. Now. I love driving this section of track, it's a lot of fun, it's so flowing. But choose the right braking point as we come up the hill. About here, chuck it down a gear, chuck it in slightly. All about getting it slowed down for this left-hander here. And fully on the power again. Have to be worried about is lift off oversteer as well. Even in light corners, this thing will like to just chuck its ass around. This left-hander here, I've had trouble with it in the past. To make sure I get my braking point right here, just at the end of these curves on the right. There we go. Power brake just to chuck it into this right-hander. Important corner this, because it determines how quickly we'll get up to speed onto the long straight. Well, I say straight, but you know what I mean. It's flat out now. And we'll probably stay in fourth all the way to the top of the hill. We won't quite hit red line. Just a dab of the brake here, just to get the turn in. Bring it over to the right hand side so we can straight line this braking as best as possible. Trying to keep my steering as smooth as possible because smooth is fast and I need to get better at that. Exploring it now. touch that. Coming up to the final long technical section here. One of my favourites. I messed that gear change up so badly. The technical part of the circuit, and I love it so much. So flowy. Probably stay in third gear now for the rest of the rest of this section. Ooh, come on, back end. Sometimes it doesn't want to come back to you. Try and get lined up and get the speed up ready for this jump. We're probably going to brake just a little bit before we leave the ground. Make sure we get this turn in here. Careful of this elevation change because it likes to kick the back out on you. Just taking off the throttle to try and counter that. Braking here. Seemed like a good place to do it. Foot to the floor again. Can't get to the last carousel. Try and get a good exit on this corner for the horrifically long straight. I've got to choose my turning point well. I'm choosing now. Yeah, that seemed alright. So if you're enjoying the video so far, as you're just coming along the back straight here, do consider giving this video a like. And if you want to see more in the future, hit that subscribe button, and I'm trying to upload something every week. So you'll have something to watch very soon. Down the hill now. Not quite going to make it to 6th gear. Try and get that turn in. Dab of the brakes, back on the throttle. Okay, now we brake for this corner. There we go. There we go, an 8:56. That's pretty good actually. That's definitely my fastest time that I've got with this car. Not that I've had to record this before because I messed up audio issues. But there we go. The first car that I've got around the Nordschleife in one piece. A sub 9-minute lap with the car that I own, the Honda S2000. I hope you've enjoyed this video and have a lovely day. Peace.